Welcome, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Step Chat. Here, our little breakdown of the Floativerse week by week and keeping you up to date on all the things that are orange. The first round of things that we need to update you on are the faculty and the float draft, which took place over the last several weeks. As I mentioned prior last week, um, this was about the process was about done, right? We were waiting on one instructor to give their final acceptance, and then at that point, we would be done. Um, and at 5:45 a.m. on Monday morning, my time, that came to a complete conclusion when the instructor reached out and said, "Hey, I just got the contract. I'm happy. I accept." So, with that being said, the process of the draft is officially over. So, with that being said, I do want to remind everybody that we won't be keeping these names for secret much longer. In fact, as we've already pointed out before, I am thrilled to share with you that starting a week from tonight, we will begin sharing with you the names of the upcoming instructors headed your way to Float 2026 in Reno. Let's go a little more into that detail, shall we? First of all, 1 week from tonight, Step Chat with yours truly will be hosting, and I will be announcing three instructors. Three instructors will be revealed a week from tonight, right here live on this show. Then on Monday, our good friend Teresa Harding will be back joining us again for an episode of TMI, and she'll be joining us because she's going to be announcing two different instructors during her show on Monday, May 26th. Then, after Teresa's done, our good friend Pia Guadalupe will be joining us that same night as well for La Familia Float. She will be announcing no uno, no dos, para tres maestros. Yes, so Pia will be announcing three instructors on Monday. That'll be at 6 p.m. So then on Tuesday, our good friend Lisa McIntyre will be back once again with Kick It Back with Lisa Mack. That's I forgot to flop the slide out. Sorry, that's supposed to say May 27th, not March 27th. I fixed it in the end video. I forgot to swap it out here. But Lisa will be hosting, and she will also be introducing three instructors that evening during her show. So we're very excited to have that. Then on the following Wednesday, Lisa returns along with the other ladies of the Working Wonders. So Debbie Levy, Ronnie Johnson, and Crystal Rutten. They will be hosting a special edition on Wednesday, May 28th at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and whatever the hell time it is for you are. They will be revealing 8 instructors. And then on Thursday, we're going to switch gears in the metaverse and we're going to jump over to Instagram. And I'm going to do a live Instagram feed on Thursday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time over at the Real Float 2026, where I'll be revealing all of our masterclass instructors headed your way at Float 2026. So that's a very exciting thing to be sure. Thursday is not the end of everything, though, because Saturday, May 31st, so basically 2 weeks from yesterday, the discounts for Float, while they are all not ending on May 31st, several of the different access packages to Float will be running out on May 31st. That includes the Academic Pass, the Weekend Pass, and the Jam Pass. The weekend passes will increase by $25. So on May 31st, they go from $225 to $250. Same thing with the Jam Pass. Pricing schedule on the Jam Pass is $350 by May 31st, and then it goes up to $375 on June 1st. Again, $25, not such a big deal. This is where the damage is going to get done. The registration fee for Float goes from $595 to $695 if you want to be an academic attendee at the convention. So it is imperative to you that you get your registration fee paid by May 31st if you want to get there for the lower price of $595. We are not extending this discount rate past May 31st. Now, let's take a moment and talk about Aloft, which is our 24-hour streaming service that Float offers to our members. This involves a series of educational videos, live virtual classes every month, and the exclusive Rubber Bubble podcast, which is hosted by yours truly. Our class on Tuesday was great. Had a great time with Sharessa Sawyer, the Avoiding Business Burnout class. This was actually, it was really, really good. And a lot of people got actually engaged in the class. Like a lot of people actually said, look, here I am. I'm willing to be I'm willing to be a shoulder or an ear to somebody if you need it. I thought that was really, really nice. But it was a great class, really excited about it. And the replay will be available very soon for you. I also want to remind everybody that if you took part in the Aloft promotion with the former Balloon Training Institute library, the deadline for this was on Thursday, which was May 15th. So if you're just now hearing about this, I'm sorry you're too late to download. The promotion is over. Um, However, I do want to remind everyone in the Aloft world that if you are partaking in this promotion, if you are going to download the former Balloon Training Institute library of videos, you must download them by May 31st. I also want to remind you that if you are a former BTI member who purchased some of their videos and you're also involved in that, right? You've got your own codes and everything else to download your videos. But you were also, as part of the whole transition thing, you were offered a 6-month free membership to Aloft. That membership needs to be cashed in again by May 31st. Episode 23 of the Rubber Bubble Podcast is done, and it was submitted, but I haven't gotten notification yet that it's been uploaded. So I do apologize. But episode 23 of the Rubber Bubble Podcast, I'm not the most social person, was in fact completed, edited, uploaded, and sent to the guys to upload to the website. So I'm just waiting on them to get to it. Some of you might be wondering, why are we looking at Float 2024's logo when we're getting ready for Float 2026? Well, I've been experiencing a snag, which we've talked about, and the reason it's in the Aloft section is because it pertains to videos. We offered to the flotation people and to the people that they canceled too late, that they were going to get the recordings of the classes, of the 10 classes that we recorded at the convention. As I mentioned previously, several of those videos were received damaged. They're not impossible, they're not unusable, excuse me, but they are, however, very difficult to watch. I tried to go back in and see if I could tweak it, and I swear to God, it's like you're literally making an edit every 5 seconds. With a 90-minute class, that's a hell of a long time. And at this point, we've just decided to write those classes off. So here's what we're going to do. As of right now, there are 4 classes that were completed and done. There's one more class that was recorded by the other team that should be fine. Once I have that video completed, then everybody who's eligible for those videos is going to receive an access code so that they can download the 4 classes that are already online and then the one additional class that we're going to be completing. And then, because I have opted to scrap the other 3 or the other 5 classes, we are going to provide you with a financial credit of $250 that you can use for other digital downloads on the Balloon DVDs download site. Okay, now let's get to the more street level float stuff. Let's start with the step chat survey. This was a topic that I dropped today that I kind of pretty much figured I knew the answers for the most part, but I still wanted to see what people had to say about it. This particular episode, or this particular question, was pertaining to what is your biggest obstacle in attending a convention. It wasn't necessarily directed at float. It was really about any convention at all. Naturally, there were some people that specifically targeted that float, but it wasn't that wasn't the point. So, for example, is it the lost revenue from when you leave town? Are you losing too much money, or are you afraid of losing too much money when you go out of town? Is it childcare, or do you have an elderly parent that you can't leave behind and no one to take care of them? Is it you just don't think there's a big enough return on the investment to go? Is there some other reason? But the number one reason, without question, and this is pretty much what I expected it to be, was the combined financial costs of attending the convention. It's not just the registration, of course. It's the travel costs involved. It's the hotel room. It's the food, and then naturally, people end up spending money too at these events. They buy things, they do all kinds of stuff, and as a result of which. But with that being said, I do want to. We had a lot of responses to this survey. I think about 50 people responded. So I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to fill out the survey form and let us know your thoughts. Okay, I just want to take a moment to remind everybody. Obviously, we're doing Step Chat right now live on Facebook. The full episode, the full recording of this episode will be uploaded to our YouTube channel tomorrow. That'll be on Monday, the 19th. And then on Tuesday, the Step Chat summary version, which will be anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes long, that'll be uploaded onto YouTube as well. Don't forget, you can find us on YouTube at the Floativerse on YouTube. That's youtube.com/at the Floativerse. And of course, we would greatly appreciate it if you would like us, if you would share our posts, if you would subscribe to us. And if you do want to be notified every time we upload a new video, by all means, ring the bell, and that way you'll get your notifications sent right to you. Fit for Float, as we've talked about earlier, is going nice and strong. Lisa McIntyre is leading a group of folks who are trying to lose weight for the convention. So if you have any interest at all in dropping a few pounds and being a little bit skinnier when we get to Reno, by all means, please feel free to join us. It is a float. I'm sorry, it is a Facebook group. I believe it's facebook.com/groups/fit for float. And that, of course, is FOR, not the number 4. And speaking of Lisa McIntyre, I do want to remind everybody that this coming Tuesday night is our next episode of Kicking Back with Lisa Mack. That'll be right here on the Facebook page at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's right, whatever the hell time it is where you are. This is our virtual happy hour where Lisa hosts a weekly Zoom call. You can find the link to the Zoom call in the Float Facebook group, the private group behind the security wall. And then the show is broadcast here on the Facebook page. Anybody can join in as long as you got the access link. Or of course, if you're not comfortable getting on the live call, you can always just go ahead and make comments in the chat. And with that being said, that is the end of tonight's episode. I haven't been here for the last 2 weeks. Have we talked about the Floaty Awards? That's a good question. We actually did talk about the Floaties last week. We did add a category to the Floaty Awards. We added the distortion category. So there will be 33 categories for the Floaties this time around. However, what we are also going to do this year for the first time ever is we are going to allow sponsors to pay for their own Floaties. So the 33 general categories, they can't change. They can sponsor them, but they can't change them. But we are allowing them this year to sponsor brand new categories so they can make up their own. Oh, and Miss Stephanie mentioned earlier, by the way, and I forgot to bring this up because I got sidetracked. The hotel, the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino, has updated our link to include the suites. So if you are interested in booking a suite at the hotel as opposed to just a standard room, you can now do that through the link that you were sent through Float. Folks, thank you all very much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. Really excited about the announcements coming next week. In the meantime, stay profitable. Hope you're working hard. And if you're not working hard, I hope you're relaxing well. We'll see you next time. Thanks.